Thank you for joining us on this sunny but cold Wednesday morning. I'm David Hertel in for Elias. The SAAQ is ready to add X as a possible gender marker, but they say in addition to M and F. But they say the government is stalling for political reasons. Last December, the Quebec government confirmed that it was postponing any decision relating to the use of the sex marker X until 2025, causing outrage for many. Alexe Frédéric Migneault went on a hunger strike over issue with the RAMQ gender markers at the end of 2023. They join us now. Alexe Frédéric, thank you for your time this morning.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
So tell us about your SAAQ experience the other day.
I went on Monday morning. It just so happened at the same time as the article came out that I had to go and have my own driver's license fixed. And, of course, it wasn't possible, just like the article explained. So I was really disappointed, but not surprised.
Why were you not surprised?
Because I was expecting the government to create as many tools as they can so that they can use as an excuse not to make any decision and wait until the next elections. I was really having good talks with them up until early December. Mm-hmm. We even reached an agreement when I ended my hunger strike. The condition was for them to start providing papers that would have the X gender marker. It didn't need to be the cards themselves, but at least so that I could get something to get health care and to show my identity to police officers whenever I'm on the road. And just a couple of days after we reached that agreement, they turned 180 degrees and decided that none of that was going to happen. So that's hence disappointed but not surprised.
So the SAAQ told you that they were willing to do this, correct?
They're willing and they're even ready.
So they're ready. So the computers, everything that needs to happen for this to happen is on track. So you could get the X on your driver's license from the SAAQ. Absolutely.
And even somebody from the community this morning showed me how the driver's license that they obtained, and it has the X gender marker. They are able to print it, and they have begun to, but only to people who are having settlements with them over the in the courts.
Okay. So why do you think the government isn't letting this happen? I mean, you just told me that there are examples where already the SAAQ is producing official documents with an X on them. So why not just let everybody go ahead since it's already the law and the regulations?
I think that the people in power don't know what the X gender marker means. I think that they fear that it's going to create a ripple effect, that there's going to be some bigger impact, that the world is going to change and fall on its head down the stairs, when the reality is just there's going to be under 1% of the population who's going to have the gender marker that they feel most comfortable with, including me. And they want to make really sure that they don't displease anybody who thinks as the same way they do. And so they are postponing their decision, and not their decision, because it wasn't even a decision. They were forced to do that by the highest court of Quebec. So they're doing everything they can not to do anything, and it's just insulting, really. I don't have the power as a non-binary person to destroy society. Really, I can't. I just want a card.
Right. I totally understand what you're saying here. Maybe explain to our listeners why it's so important. You just mentioned it's probably less than 1% or close to 1% of the population. But why is it so important for this marker, this X marker, to be available?
Well, first of all, as you point out, it's not even a gender marker, as I've been calling it. I think it's a deformation. Everybody says that. I'm saying it myself, but it's a sex marker.
It's a sex marker.
It's a sex marker.
Okay.
It's so, and the sex and gender aren't the same. But in the law, they are regarded as synonyms, even though they are not. Sex is the body, gender is the way you feel, and gender expression is the way you present. And in my case, all three of those are different.
Mm-hmm.
So when I put my my birth sex on my card, it's basically saying exactly what I have in my pants, even though my face and my voice say otherwise. It creates situations in which people say nasty things to me, in which they doubt my identity, they deny me service, they insult me, they use their derogatory terms, they misunderstand me and my situation. It's a lot of complicated and just baseless and just useless situations that I could really live without. And an X gender marker is basically a signal that says, hey, I'm queer, so what you may assume from me might not be true.
Mm-hmm.
And it just helps me create a conversation that is actually constructive with the people that I need to talk about it with. For example, medical professionals. I need to talk about those things with them, but I don't need to discuss that with a security guard or with a receptionist or with a phone worker. Those people don't need to know about my body. And so the X is, for me, what creates the bridge between me and public services.
So was it last year, and I may be mixing up issues here, but put me on the right path. The government, did they create some sort of committee of wise persons to look at the whole transgender issue and all of that? Are you following that as well?
Yes, I was really appalled. It's really a bad decision, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And do you think one has an impact on the other? Do you think because they created this committee, they maybe are looking for ways to not move ahead with the sex marker?
We already have a committee of people who are working on these very questions. So this is just a duplicate used to pretend that we don't know anything. We actually have the office for combating transphobia and homophobia in the government, and that is being led by Minister Martine Biron. So we already have that. They already are doing this job, and we already have plenty of academics who know about transgender and non-binary health, who are able to help and advise the government on the steps to take in order to both conform to the law and to serve the population adequately. So this community of so-called wise people is, in my opinion, an insult to the highest court of Quebec as well, who has already said, well, here's the issue that they're facing and here's the solution that needs to be applied. And so the government is saying, no, they're not wise, so let us choose people that are actually wise. So it's nonsense. And yes, as you said, it just delays action, and it's nothing but an excuse, and it's not going to be any use at all.
So what are your next steps?
Well, I've been on a relationship of trying to find a compromise so far with the government. So my first step is going to walk from Montreal, where I live, to Drummondville, which is halfway to the National Assembly. I'm going to walk to show that I'm ready to make my half of the bargain, if only they could follow theirs. And then, unfortunately, since they didn't meet my criteria to end my last hunger strike, I have no choice but to go on a fifth hunger strike as soon as the National Assembly resumes its activities on January 30th. So it's going to be another episode of waiting for the government to do their job and trying to find ways for them to make that compromise with me.
All right, that's all the time I have. I want to thank you for your time this morning, and all the best moving forward.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Alexe Frédéric Migneault went on a hunger strike over the issue with the RAMQ gender markers or sex markers at the end of 2023, and it looks like they are going to have to do it again with this whole SAAQ situation.